show. Dr. Deo, let me begin with you. Now, for the audience at home, explain to us, when should antibiotics be used and what is their basic purpose?
Thank you so much. Whenever any disease is there because of infection, mainly for bacterial infection, antibiotics are used. So disease may have occurred because the bacteria. To kill those bacteria, if the drugs are used, those are called antibiotics or antibacterial drugs.
Right. Now, what happens when these drugs are used in excess?
Yes. See, bacteria are also a sort of microorganisms. These are microorganisms. So when antibiotics are used excessively, what will happen is the bacteria try to defend themselves in such a way that they develop immunity within it. And with some sort of genetic modification, they develop a capacity to fight or resist against those bacteria, antibiotics, which were previously active in that time.
Right.
So eventually, the antibiotics develop a resistance to it, which was found to be useful in a previous time. So this excessive antibiotics of use or the irrational use of antibiotics is the major cause for development of resistance.
Right. Now, as you're stating here, an excessive use is, of course, damaging for the human body. I'm going to jump to Vidya and talk to you about this. Vidya, now, you've been covering health for quite some time now. And as we discussed, antibiotic resistance is being seen as a global threat. Why do you think we've reached that point? What has caused people to consume antibiotics in such an excessive amount?
There are historical reasons why India in particular is one of the world's leading consumer of antibiotics. South Asian nations consume a lot of antibiotics as well, and there are historical reasons because any country which has a history of traditional medicine is likely to self-medicate more. Okay, you know, those homemade remedies. So it's socially acceptable that you start treating yourself. And then post the colonial empire, we've had both India, Pakistan, this is true for Nepal, this is true for Bangladesh, that we've had very little investments in public health. And there is over-the-counter medication. So you can just go to a pharmacist and buy yourself antibiotics and treat yourself, even if you have a viral infection. And like Dr. Deo was saying, historically, the reasons have combined with low investments in public health sector. And that has now combined with, we've reached this point where there are superbugs. And increasingly, we can't treat diseases that were easily treatable earlier.